guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the Nike Lebron 18. So this shoe is going for $200 freaking, super expensive, and Lebrons are basically Nike's highest upper echelon signature shoe, and they're using, of course, their best tech and all that. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. The James Gang colorway is available on Nike.com. But yeah, let's get it started off with the traction. So I was playing on an outdoor court, and it's actually a little inconsistent. Just a little bit though. For the most part, it had a really good bite, and I actually didn't have a whole lot of issues with it. But when I was doing a pretty hard lateral movement, or just a hard movement in general, it would slide out a little bit, actually a good amount. Not to the point where it's dangerous and I was actually kind of scared of playing it, but it was just it just slid out and I was like, oh, that's not good, you know. And then on a step back or on a crossover, it just slows you down. So of course that's not ideal and that's not good, but that didn't happen that much. It only happened a few times. So I'd say the traction is pretty good and decent. As far as the durability goes, that is a no, and I'm very sad that I had to play with these on the outdoor court, because yeah, the rubber is ripping off like crazy. This waffle pattern here in the forefoot, the actual grooves, the rubber is super duper thin. The grooves are deep though, but it's just so damn thin and so pliable that no, it's not durable at all. Do not play with these outdoors at all. So there is the traction there. As far as the heel to toe transition goes, it's actually pretty damn nice. So here in the heel, we have a pretty nice rounded shape, which feels good. You have a lot of heel compression, which we'll get into. And then a nice curved shape here in the forefoot. That's actually a very curved shape. Look at that. It's so nice because just because of this shape, you get a nice rocking motion when you're running down the court, and when you're jogging in the shoe. And also there is a good amount of forefoot flex. It's not the easiest to flex, but under the weight of your body, it flexes a lot easier. So heel to toe transition is super smooth. And I also, of course, that ties in the cushion, and the cushioning setup in this shoe is awesome, guys. It has to be one of my favorites actually out of all the shoes that are out right now and all the shoes that I've been playing in lately. This has to be top 3, top 2 maybe even. So first of all, they're using a a Cushlon foam midsole, right? And I believe it's full length, but it's heavily caged here in the heel, as you guys can see from this plastic part. The Cushlon is nice. You can't really feel it all too much because there is a full length zoom unit right underneath your foot. And not only that, you have an Air Max unit here in the heel. It's basically a 270 unit with a lower PSI than the Lebron 17, because when you press the Lebron 18 Air Max unit with your fingers, it actually compresses a good amount more as compared to the Lebron 17, right? So as you guys know, I don't like Air Max all too much, especially for performance stuff like running, working out especially, and also basketball, because you feel super high up off the ground, right? The court feel is not good. Number 2, it feels a little unstable. And number 3, for me personally, I like to feel cushion right underneath my foot. I like to have underfoot cushioning as opposed to the actual midsole, all this compressing, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I don't think they've ever done this. The Lebron 18 might be the first to use this combo. So with the Air Max and a full length zoom unit, right? So the full length zoom unit feels different than a full length zoom strobo unit, because if you guys can see the zoom strobo unit, in the KD13 and in the KD12, it's articulated, right? So the zoom actually bounces and compresses in that area only. In a full length zoom unit, when you're walking from heel to forefoot, you can feel all of that air moving inside the zoom bag, and it feels awesome. I love it, and it makes it feel a little bit extra bouncy, I would say, right? So that feels nice. Couple that with the crazy Air Max unit here in the heel, and it is insane, right? So like I say with Air Max, there's a crazy amount of compression here in the heel. It's awesome. But like I always say, I like to feel something underneath my foot, right? So you get that crazy compression here in the heel, and then your foot digs into that full length zoom unit there in the heel, and then that just like propels you forward and feels crazy bouncy, almost like a trampoline. It's crazy. And so that's in the heel and also in the forefoot as well. The court feel is not good, and you're actually very high up off the ground, and it feels a little bit unstable, especially here on the lateral side in the heel. But other than that, I really like this cushioning setup. Impact protection is awesome. It's super bouncy. I especially love the heel cushion, combining that Air Max with the Zoom bag. So yeah, besides I guess the court feel being bad and also it being a little unstable, this cushioning setup is awesome. I really like it. Alright, moving on to the materials. So they're using Knit Posit 2.0. And it's just a knit material. Nike just likes to name all their knits with new technology or whatever. So the knit material is actually very nice. It doesn't really feel glued down at all. And I would say it's one of the thinner feeling materials as compared to like the previous Lebrons, like in the Lebron 15, the Lebron 16. Those feel a little bit thicker than the Lebron 18, right? So that's a nice added bonus. Also, it doesn't really stretch all that much, which is a good thing because it gives you support. So here in the toe box, it's super comfortable. It conforms to your foot very well. And it's just a great quality knit. Feels awesome on foot. Also here on the lateral and medial side, you guys can see, I guess like these triangle shapes, or I guess these upside down V shapes. And the flywire cables go through those V shapes to give you extra added support, of course, you know? So that's nice. Here in the ankle area, you have, there's not a lot of padding besides the Achilles pillows that are way in the back, which feels great. It locks your heel down and it feels very comfortable on the Achilles. My least favorite part about the shoe is the tongue though. The tongue is this really crappy synthetic material. It's super thin. There's absolutely no padding on it. It's oversized though, which I like and I really don't like because, as you guys know, I really like oversized tongues, right? But because of this super thin material, it like digs into your foot. And of course, you're not gonna feel it at all if you're wearing like long socks. But if you wear shorter socks, it's gonna dig into your skin. It's gonna be very irritating. So just watch out for that. So obviously it's not a huge deal if you wear long socks, like I said. There are 3 Air Max units on the tongue. Doesn't really do anything. Like I said in the first impressions, the laces don't go over it, so it doesn't like compress the Air Max unit on top of your foot. So you don't really feel the Air Max units like that much or like ever on your foot, or at least I didn't. So yeah, the tongue is not that nice, but the overall material like the Knit Posit 2.0 and the Achilles pillows are very nice. Also, we have a heel tab. The material here comes up a lot here in the heel. The tongue does open up a good amount as well, so you slide your foot in very easily. It's not a hard shoe to put on, and you just tie the laces and you're good to go. As far as the fit goes, I went true to size and it fits me very well. There is a little bit of length here, just a tiny bit. As you guys can see, it's a very pointy shoe, and unnecessarily pointy, right? And feet anatomy, like feet don't look like this, but yeah, so besides a little bit of length, true to size I feel like should be good for most people. Width wise, it's snug. I would say it's slightly narrow. It wasn't choking my foot out or anything like the KD13 was, but it did feel pretty snug and tight. And here in the toe box, it's pretty snug as well. There's no dead space or anything, and it feels great here in the toe box. It feels great here in the midfoot as well. The fit was actually very good for me. If you have a wide foot, or you like to have a roomier fit in your shoes, I would suggest going up half a size or maybe even a full size because it's a pretty damn snug fit. Also, the Knit Posit didn't stretch out all too much. I would say it stretched out just a little bit. So when you get the Lebron 18, don't expect the fit to loosen up all too much. I mean, it did loosen up just a little bit, but not as much as like other shoes that have knit, you know? All right, moving on to the support and lockdown. So for lateral containment, I had really no issues. Here in the heel, the cushion comes up a lot, and of course we have this external TPU heel counter. And then here in the forefoot, I guess the cushion does come up just slightly. And also, like I said, here in the forefoot, you have these flywire cables that go through this like triangle shape to give you more support for lateral containment. When I was doing lateral movements, I definitely felt my foot like kind of hitting this Knit Posit, and I kind of stretching it a little bit, but you know, the knit actually didn't budge all too much, but it was hitting it to the point where it was like kind of rolling. As you guys can look at this, it kind of like rolls over a little bit. So I wouldn't say it definitely wasn't terrible or anything, it wasn't bad, but I felt it just like kind of giving a little bit. So I am a lighter guy, so I feel like if you're a little bit heavier, you should watch out for that. But for the most part, for me personally, lateral containment was good. For lateral stability though, okay, so when I was playing in it, I really didn't have any issues with like this type of movement. Like I didn't feel like I was gonna roll my ankle or anything, which is a good thing, of course. But when I was kind of like, on some instances, I landed kind of like this on my heel, right? As you guys can see, like this. And then the Air Max unit, of course, would compress a lot because it does. I felt my ankle roll just a little bit. So it's definitely not the most stable shoe. And I absolutely don't understand why like LeBrons do this. Like the LeBron 17 did this as well. And then as you guys know, was it the LeBron 16, or it was like the LeBron 16 or the 17 where the GR, or I guess the consumer LeBrons, didn't have an outrigger, but then LeBron James's actual PEs, the shoes that he was actually playing in, had outriggers. I believe I read an article where LeBron James like rolled his ankle in practice, so maybe that's why they added the outriggers. So why wouldn't you add an outrigger here in the LeBron 18, right? For example, if you guys want to see a shoe that's laterally stable and super wide, you look at the Dame 7, for example. Look at how much wider it is. Look at that. And not only that, the Dame 7 is way lower to the ground, so you're just way more stable. The LeBron 17, like I said, you're high up off the ground. It's not a very wide base either. So I don't know. I wish they would have added something here. I definitely do. So just watch out for that. Lateral stability was not the best. And of course, it is a low cut, which is a very welcome change in my opinion in LeBron's line, because I guess the LeBron 15 wasn't that bad, and also the 16, but the 17 was pretty damn high up off the ground. It's basically high, right? So that restricted ankle movement, and personally for me, I like to feel lows better. So the low feel is great. Obviously ankle support isn't the best. It restricts ankle movement just a little bit, but not that much. So obviously if you want ankle support, this is not the shoe to get. All right, moving on to the weight. If I remember correctly, yeah, so it's pretty damn heavy, 15.73 ounces. And then for the right pair, it's like 15.34. What? Why is it so different? 15.34 and 15.7? What? That's like 0.4 ounces different. That's crazy. That's a good amount of weight difference between the left and right shoe. Quality control? I don't know. I guess the quality control isn't the best, because 0.4 ounces, it's not like super significant, but that's definitely a difference. But anyways, yeah, anything above like 14 ounces, 14.5 ounces is considered pretty damn heavy, or super heavy actually. And does this shoe feel heavy? It feels heavy. You definitely notice it, but it's not like super bulky. You know, like I said, nothing's like bubbling out. I guess this is a literal bubble, but nothing's like bulging out or anything. It's mostly just like streamlined to the shape of your foot. So it doesn't feel bulky or anything. So when you're playing, you feel like pretty fast and like quick, I would say, but you definitely do feel the weight, and it is a heavy shoe. So just watch out for that. And as far as the ventilation goes, yeah, no. This is a super hot shoe. There's absolutely no ventilation through this crappy synthetic material tongue. And of course, the Knitposit 2.0 is fairly thick, and there's not a lot of airflow through. Like if you blow through it, not that much. So ventilation, the shoe is pretty damn hot. Moving on to the aesthetics, I absolutely love it. I don't know why, it grew on me a lot. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below, and also tell us what you guys think of the Air Max units here on the tongue. So wrapping things up, this is literally my favorite LeBron in his entire line. Plays extremely well. There are, I guess, a couple of things that I would change about it, or I guess like personal preference for me, I don't like as much. First is the weight, of course. Second, I guess lateral stability isn't as good as I think it should be. And third, I guess like court feel. I like to feel like very low to the ground, which of course this shoe does not have. But other than that, this shoe is very nice, and I really enjoyed playing it, you know, especially since I was playing outside. I really like the bounce that it gave you. It really propels you forward. I feel like it also made me like it made me feel faster, and also it made me like feel like I could jump a little bit more. I definitely felt a spring in my step, if you would say, right? And I feel like this will 100% be in my rotation, right? That's how much I really like playing in the shoe. And I guess like no shoes really have full length zoom anymore, right? I guess besides like full length zoom strobo, but that feels different than a full length zoom unit. So anyways, LeBron 18 I would 100% recommend. And if you're a big guy, if you're a small guy, shifty guard, I feel like it should be okay. I guess like shifty, doing a lot of lateral movements and stuff, you should probably stay away from the shoe. But if you're more of like a straight line guy, go straight to the rack, or a big guy like I said, this is a great option. So anyways, that about concludes my review of the LeBron 18. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.